Hello and welcome everyone to our first pay-per-view here at
The following
BSW.
contest is an Iron Man match and is for the Grand Prix Championship.
This is our first pay-per-view, Revolution X. And starting off the night, we have defending the Grand Prix title against his opponent coming in now. Lance Sutton got a big win last week to get himself this chance at this title. Of course, also, Johnny Raven has to look over his shoulder and watch out for Jay Phoenix, who can cash in at any time to get a chance at the Grand Prix title. Lance, of course, having a rough sort of history so far in BSW, but getting a big win in a hellacious Hell in a Cell match against Thomas Insano to get himself this title opportunity, and he's looking to walk out of Revolution X as the Grand Prix champion. Johnny, of course, looking to get his first defense and get one step closer to retiring that belt and keeping it on his shoulder forever. After a private interview, we have learned that there has been a definite change of attitude with Lance heading into this matchup. And he even said that he is bringing back something from his past to maybe get himself through this match and get himself a title. But I am very interested to see how and what that move is. But coming in now is our champion, the BSW Grand Prix champion, Johnny Raven, looking to get that first etching into that gold plate on that Grand Prix title. Of course, heading in here full of energy, full of, well, heart. And Raven looks to be more energized than anyone to get into this 25-minute Iron Man match, where both of these men will put themselves through tooth and nail to either earn that title or hold on to it. Of course, bit of a size difference. Johnny Raven, I believe, is 5'10". Lance Sutton, 6'5". The size and weight is going to definitely be a factor here in this matchup. But how much of a factor is determined by Johnny Raven, as he is the underdog in this matchup in terms of size. Of course, though, that does not mean everything. And size is just one factor.
Introducing the challenger from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 269 pounds, the Gladiator, Lance Sutton.
Lance slitting with his own throat, threatening Johnny Raven.
Richmond, Virginia, weighing in at 215 pounds, he is the Grand Prix champion, Johnny Raven.
Raven with a bit of a stoic look, possibly trying to eye out his opponent and intimidate his opponent. But now the referee is going to take the title from Johnny Raven, lift it up in the air and make it official. Of course, showing the challenger what he's fighting for. And we are going to begin this matchup here. A big way to open up our first pay-per-view. Place your bets now. Lance Sutton, Johnny Raven, 25-minute timer. We're ringing the bell, and Johnny instantly sprints in, and a big snap dragon suplex right into the neck of Lance. But Lance pushing off Johnny Raven, using that power with a big backhand to follow that up. But a kick from the gut from Johnny. However, that reach playing a factor here. Johnny, of course, having the shorter reach. And a big clothesline from Lance as Johnny ducks under. Lance now dropping his knee onto the back of the neck. And just taunting his opponent a little bit, using that weight to keep him down. But now Johnny pushing off Lance, showing he's got some power of his own. Goes for a chop, but dodged by Lance. And now Lance with a big combo. Rocks his opponent backwards. Now an Irish whip off the rope. Drops low. And once again, and a big discus lariat off of the ropes, nearly taking Johnny's head off. And now a disrespectful slap from Lance, showing to his opponent that he's not intimidated by someone his size, with a big knuckle strike and a big forearm. Johnny not in a good spot right now, but pushes off Lance. Now runs in with a flying knee strike, catching Lance flush in the jaw. And now getting in with that chop and that kick, setting up for a German suplex, folding Lance over himself. Now again, using those quick strikes, Lance catches the boot, twists him around, but no, gets caught with a kick to the gut. Johnny, though, looked to be going for a springboard, but not in time. Lance throws him to the outside. And now we're heading to the outside, only 7 minutes into this matchup. But no, Johnny trying to keep this match contained, heading back inside, throwing Lance in. Probably not the smartest move, though, as a combo of punches comes in from Lance. And another one to keep the champion down, and possibly the first fall of tonight. We have a one. No, only a 1 count. Johnny so resilient to keeping this matchup, and now a flat buster, planting his face straight into that mat. Now a clothesline from Lance, ducked by Johnny though. Johnny now Irish whipping Lance over the top rope. Lance possibly making the wise decision to head to the outside instead of going off the ropes. But now Lance setting up for that sudden death, and that's the first finisher of the night here, and that could be the first fall of the night. The referee, we have a 1, a 2, but no, just a kick out at 2, and Johnny quick to his feet, possibly jumped up on adrenaline, back to his feet, despite his head getting planted so firmly into that ground, and now stomps on the back from Johnny. And now Johnny's looking to stalk his opponent, and goes for a trip, possibly looking for that dead man's hand, and he gets it locked in. Lance now looking great here, but no, quickly able to fight out of it, desperate to get out of that bad situation, and he does. Lance now throwing Johnny inside the ring, but now looking so quick to follow him, picks out a hockey stick from underneath the ring. Again, we have a whole random assortment of weapons underneath that ring, and Johnny looked to be going for a German, but gets caught with an elbow. And now Lance got a big takedown with some palm strikes to the face of Johnny. And now we've seen this before. Back in his earlier days, he calls this the infamous sleeper. This must be the move that he was talking about. But it's not enough to put away Johnny. A jawbreaker from Johnny to break out of that submission hold. And now throwing Lance into the ropes and picking up that hockey stick for his own game now. And jabbing it into his ribs. And swinging it, no. Lance able to kick it out of his palm, but it's not enough to keep Johnny off his feet. And an excellent combo of strikes and an enziguri to knock the big man off his feet. Going for a cover here. We have a 1, a 2. No, only a 2 count. Lance though, not as quick to get up from an attack as Johnny was earlier here. But now, 5 minutes into this matchup, and Johnny looked to be trying to break that hockey stick over the spine of Lance. Lance though with a kick to the gut, grabs the wrist, possibly looking for that, possibly looking to pick him up, but no. Johnny, once again, that size just playing a factor, that reach. Gets picked up by Lance, but drops some big elbows. Now a combo at a flurry of strikes, puts Lance out on his back. Now he's setting up for that front flip DDT, he's running in, but no, hip toss over the body of Lance. Throws him and goes for a cover here, and possibly landed wrong there. That's the first fall of the night. Possibly caught by surprise there. Got thrown overhead and fall from that such a height. Again, I was just talking about falling, being tossed outside of the ring here. You got to keep in mind, Lance is 6'5". When you get tossed overhead by someone that size, it is going to be a nasty drop. But a suicide dive, no. Johnny able to dodge out of the way, able to keep himself from further damage. Throwing Lance back into the ring here, but not quick to follow through. Looking for his own weapon and another hockey stick. Both men possibly going to sword fight with the two. But no, Lance off the ropes, pop up, flapjack from Lance, tossing him all the way up in the air. Now swinging at his skull, taunting him a little bit, goes for that backhand. And now an Irish whip into the corner, possibly looking for that sudden death on the top rope, bringing him up top. This is a bad situation for Johnny as a big European uppercut comes through. We have a bit of thunder in the background. We're going to try and ignore it. Sorry for any epileptic viewers, but a sudden death from the top rope. Johnny looks to be knocked out from that. Crowd chanting for one more time, but I don't know if Johnny will be able to get up from another one. Johnny stumbling to his feet after another fall. Johnny, though, needs to get some offense in. He is down 2 points in this matchup. Picking up that hockey stick once again. Swinging now at the knee. Going for the cover. Possibly that might have been it. No. I don't know his thinking there with a hockey stick to the knee being what gets Lance to drop there, but he goes for the cover and it's not enough. However, targeting the arm here, wrenching on the shoulder, trying to pop that shoulder blade out of its socket possibly. Now goes for a stomp, but no, tripped by Lance. Lance backhand, no, blocked by Johnny. Learning to recover from his mistakes. Now clutching at the wrist, but no, a big boot by Lance makes him let go. And Lance looked to be going for a clothesline, but just missed. Possibly due to the war paint that he has on, possibly due to the blood that's, I assume, on his face. But either way, he gets a big miss. Now using the wrist and taking control of Johnny, but no. Johnny's going to throw some big strikes to the ribs to get himself out of that bad hold. But now here, once again, this sleeper. Johnny in a bad spot, panicking. He looks to be passed out here. That's our third fall for Lance. But Lance isn't done just yet with a big dropping forearm. Looking for another one, but no. Pushed away by Johnny. Johnny back awake with a big clothesline, sending Lance to the outside. And once again, going for that hockey stick. Johnny has been a big fan favorite of these weapons so far in this matchup. Once again sending Lance, this time to the apron. And now it looks to be swinging wildly, but just gets pushed out of his hand. Johnny needs to get himself back in this matchup. Excellent show of power, though. Now backing up for that front foot DDT, possibly looking to connect it this time and get himself a fall. And he connects. Will it be enough, though? Pushing the big man over, going for the cover. We have a 1, a 2, but no, still not enough to put away Lance. Possibly needs to get him into that dead man's hand. But a spinning heel kick will do just the same. But he's not going to fall there. No. Goes for a knee strike, but gets caught with a big boot after Lance reverses. Lance now, big clothesline. Lifting him up into that Gorilla Plus slam. Drops him flat. Off the ropes and a big splash. Getting himself some momentum back on his side after that front flip DDT. Put him in a bad spot. Lance now using that candlestick. Taunting him a little bit. Johnny, though, going to roll out of that situation. When he uses his knees once again. Possibly looking to use some, body-based damaging. But Lance, smart to roll to the corner as Johnny was possibly stalking him for that front flip DDT, but a knee strike to the face. And Johnny now stalking his opponent, and I believe Johnny's right eye is cut open. I don't quite know when that happened, but we have a dead man's hand. The ref's looking away, but now he notices. And that's a tap. We have our first fall here from Johnny. Lance possibly just tapped, maybe out of instinct, maybe out of, keeping himself safe. But now a trip from Johnny, but no. Lance pushes him off. Back fist. No, a kick from the gut, and another dead man's hand. This could be the second fall. Once again, Lance in a bad spot here. Grabbing onto the ropes, but again, it's not enough. He's doing a smart move by tapping early, making sure he doesn't incur too much damage. But Johnny now has found his momentum. 2 to 3. Wrenching on that forearm. wrenching on that bicep and wrenching on that shoulder, yanking it backwards in an awkward position and going for another cover. These could tie these two up. We have a 2 and a 3. These two are now officially tied back up. We are back to basically 0-0. But Lance is not going to be quick. It's not going to be slow to try and get that lead back on his side, setting him once again back up for that sudden death. And Johnny just doesn't seem to have a counter for it so far. And a big cutter from Lance. That sudden death from the top rope. This could be what Lance needed to get himself back in control here after he's sort of just been spiraling. And he does. Once again, picking up that hockey stick. I don't know if this is an homage to Canadians, but these two have only used hockey stick so far. But a big drop kick from Lance, sprinting halfway across the ring, but he's not done. Once again, double drop kick. And now, no, Johnny though, able to recover quickly, but it's not enough. Lance tosses him to the outside, and these two are going to brawl. Possibly into the crowd here. But no, Lance just sort of tossing his opponent around. I don't quite know what his strategy is, but it's certainly an effective one. But a big spinning heel kick going for the cover. Possibly not the smartest move, I'm realizing. And a 3 count from Johnny, sorry. And these two once again tied up. And a hockey stick swinging at the skull, but no, Lance catches it. Now using it for his own gain. Swinging at the spine. Johnny though rolls away, smacks it out of his hand. Lance stumbles into the corner, but he's not safe there. Johnny's picking him up. I don't know what he's doing. Pushing on his jaw, choking him. And Lance gets dumped to the outside. Johnny just taunts into the crowd a little bit, taking a breather. Both men have been going a mile a minute. And a dive from Johnny gets a clothesline to the back of the head. Both men not landing great. Johnny, though, is able to recover first. Johnny sending Lance back inside. Johnny just so exhausted. Kicking the apron, possibly out of frustration. Picking up a shovel now, I think. And gets taken by Lance. That shovel head going right to the gut. But these two are once again battling on the outside here. Kicks to the gut from Johnny. Kick to the gut from Lance. And knee to the gut from Lance. Lance now in control. Lance taking the upper hand. Irish whipping his opponent into the mat, into the ring. Now picking him back up. And a big discus lariat, moving at insane speeds for how long they've been in this matchup. Of course, 15 minutes in. We still have 10 minutes remaining here. Both men are tied up. But Johnny looked to be trying to escape and get himself into a better spot, but it wasn't the right idea. As once again, setting up for that sudden death. Johnny really needs to find a counter for this. Really needs to get himself in a situation where that's not a possibility for Lance. I believe that is the 4th or 5th sudden death that we have seen here tonight, and it could be the 5th fall of the night, and it is. Johnny 2 points away from Lance as he takes the lead. Johnny being dumped to the outside. Again, I don't know if this is just a manipulation of a way of Lance toying with his opponent, but now he's going to throw him back in once again. Picking up that hockey stick from the outside. Giving Johnny time to recover, though. Not the smartest move, is now, again, throwing those knees. This is the 3rd time he's thrown a flurry of knees to the gut of Lance. You know, that will do damage, and a knee to the face. But Lance not staying down, and a spinning heel kick once again. This got a cover last time, but Lance smart to escape to the outside. It doesn't keep him away from a pinfall, but it does possibly give him enough time to recover. But a flying suicide dive tornado DDT will not give him any time to recover as a cover comes in. 2 and a 3 count. Johnny only needs 2 points to retain his title here with 9 minutes remaining. Can he do it, or will Lance continue to take the lead? Taking control of that wrist. No, forearm from Lance. From Johnny. Lance, face buster. Johnny falls badly. Lance, I think, was going to head inside, but realized just how badly he fell after that knee strike, and that's another fall here. Johnny is once again 3 points down. And a back fist and a flurry of combos. Johnny, though, responding with an Irish whip. Throwing Lance ribs first into the barricade. And now sprinting at him. And now looks to be a Uranagi onto that steel barricade. Of course, we appreciate everyone who showed up and who's watching online. If you could, I would love to see a like and possibly a subscribe coming from everyone watching here. Johnny stalking his opponent, looking for that dead man's hand, but no. Once again, he goes for the trip, but gets pushed off by Lance. Johnny, though, ducks the backhand, throwing Lance back into the ring. Both men exhausted, and again, Johnny just seems frustrated, stomping on that apron, kicking it. I've never quite seen someone so frustrated in a matchup where he seemingly isn't too far behind. Lance picks up his opponent and sets him up into the sudden death out of nowhere. I don't think the ref quite realized either. A little bit hesitant on that cover, but here we go. And there's another fall for Lance. Johnny is not in a good way here, but he can still recover. These hockey sticks swinging at his gut. And now it's breaking it over the back of his neck. And Johnny is going to crawl to that corner, but once again, we've seen that this isn't a great spot. Lance, though, backing up, sprinting in. We've seen this before, drop kick. Not done that yet, though. Heading to the back, and another drop kick right to the stall. Picking his opponent back up, though, not giving him a chance to recover. But no, Johnny, kick to the gut, trying to get himself back in this matchup with a combo of strikes and a knee strike to the face. Johnny, half and half suplex onto the neck. Lance taking control of his positioning by putting himself into that corner, but not the smartest move as Johnny using that weight. And now a pendulum meteora. Johnny's taunting, but he needs to be getting falls. He needs to be getting points here. Sending his opponent to the ropes. Lance once again heading over instead of rebounding. Johnny once again stalking his opponent. Oh, gets that trip. Finally locking in, looks to be locking in that dead man's hand once again. And Lance once again taps. Johnny needs 3 points to be in the lead, 2 points to tie it up. Can he do it with 6 minutes remaining? Or will we see a new Grand Prix champion as a butterfly suplex comes in? Excellent showing of power from Johnny. Johnny has definitely proved himself as a worthy champion here. Lance has been a difficult competitor, but Johnny has managed to stay in this fight. Setting his opponent up onto those ropes and a knee strike to the gut. Slowing down the pace here. Onto that apron, and now a diving knee drop onto the apron of where Lance is headed. The ref takes bad positioning, though. That possibly would have a three count, and it still is. Lance possibly landed wrong after that knee drop. The ref took his sweet time, but it still wasn't enough for Lance to break out of that pin. But both men are now back on their feet as the ref slides back into the match. And now a DDT from Johnny. Lance holding his skull, planting him badly. And now looking for that front flip DDT again. I don't know how you could do a front flip when you're so exhausted, but there's the strength and resilience of Johnny Raven at full display. And another fall. And he is now only 1 point behind Lance. 2 points to get in the lead and retain his championship. Of course, if it is a tie, he does retain. And once again, a dead man's hand. Not a good position, and now we are at a tie position. Johnny is now in the position where he is going to retain his championship, whether it is a draw or a win. Lance needs to get back in control, and a sudden death will do that, surely. Looking to get himself back in the lead here. We have a 1, a 2, and a 3 count. Lance gets himself back in the lead. Very smart of Lance, possibly keeping that time in his head And setting up another sudden death. That's 2 back-to-back, and that's possibly another fall, getting himself again in the lead by 2 points, and it is. Just when Johnny looked to be in a good spot to retain his title, Lance comes back with a deadly set of moves to get himself back in the lead. 2 points ahead is Lance with a slap to the face, disrespecting his opponent. You know, you would think at this point that there would be some respect, but oh my God, a burning hammer from Lance. Johnny's body looks like a corpse after that. And now setting up for that sudden death, now on the outside. This could be a third 3-point lead. I was going to say that, you know, you would think that after this hard-fought battle, these two would have developed some respect for each other. But after that slap to the face, I'm not so sure, as Lance sends his opponent into that steel post. Johnny is still fighting though, not giving up. Showing that champion fight as a discus back fist gets caught into a spinning heel kick. Johnny should have gone for the cover there. I don't know why he didn't. Possibly could have saved himself a point or two. But now looking for another butterfly suplex, and he gets it. Beautifully done. Now stalking his opponent. Lance stumbling to his feet. Johnny turning him around with a knee strike and a discus lariat of his own. But again, quick to get his opponent back up on his feet and get another dead man's hand. And let me tell you something, this dead man's hand has been a deadly weapon so far. Lance has only been able to break out of one of these in the entire matchup, showing just how deadly that move is. And a wrist plus big boot from Johnny. Now stomping on the back and doubling it up. Johnny needs 2 points to retain his title. As 2 minutes happen, Johnny creating some distance, tearing apart that table, possibly setting up for something big to put away the big man. Sprinting over, throwing some combos, but no, caught by Lance. Lance now picking him up into a powerbomb, it looks like. Yes, he is. Walking over to the apron with a big powerbomb and swinging him over with a big swinging him to the side, and now a low blow from Lance. Anything goes here, and a big forearm to the face. Lance is showing no respect to the champion. Champion, though, looked to be going for that dead man's. No. Pushed away by Lance. Back fist. Now, stalking his opponent. Turning him around here. And once again, a sudden death. Goes for another cover here. Looking to get a 3-point gap once again. And he does. We have 1 minute remaining. Johnny needs to get some falls here if he wants to retain that title. Of course, not the best position even after Lance wins the title. He could get cashed in on by Jay Phoenix after the match, but now once again looking for that Marauder sleeper hold, that infamous sleeper hold. Johnny's panicking. Okay, calming down a little bit, possibly stabilizing. Wow, he's actually able to break out. 30 seconds left, but still showing some resolve. Sending his opponent off the ropes. Drops down, and a big kitchen sink. We have 25 seconds remaining. Johnny, though, not stopping the assault. But Lance is able to fight back. Back fist. Kick to the gut. A half and half suplex with 10 seconds remaining. A kick to the foot. Kick to the head from your new champion, Lance. Sudden, but Lance not done fighting, passing out onto the floor. Your winner here after a hard-fought battle.
Here is your winner,
the new champion.
Grand Prix
Lance, I don't know what he's doing, just squeezing on the temple. New champion, but he's not done with Johnny. Pure hatred in those eyes. Your new Grand Prix champion. Assaulting the ex-champion. Your winner here tonight. Lance Sutton, you know, checking up on his opponent. The ever egotistical, ever bit of an asshole Lance Sutton is your new Grand Prix champion. Stay tuned, everyone. Coming up next is a big matchup between Jay Williams and Bennett Bracker in a first blood match. We are now on to our second match here. And coming in first, of course, had a big win over Ray Dunleavy last week. You know, Ray had a beautiful showing against Johnny Raven, 2 weeks ago.
Is an Extreme Rules match. Making his way to the ring from Richmond, Virginia, weighing in at 273 pounds, the Punisher, Jay Williams.
Jay Williams had a really good showing here. Of course, he beat Ray Dunleavy, who had an excellent performance. And, Jay Williams, though, he dominated Ray Dunleavy. Absolutely brutalized him. Jay, though, now looking to, further his win. And again, like I said, he got a big win of over Ray Dunleavy. And possibly if Ray Dunleavy wins at the pay-per-view, Jay Williams could be the next man in line. Because he did beat Ray Dunleavy, who is a contender and possibly the champion by the end of the night. But now, coming in second,
from Austin, Texas, weighing in at 252 pounds, the Technician.
Bennett Bracker, of course, having a trio of matches with Anderson Klein. Ended up losing that trios match, but did have a good showing and did prove that he is a worthy contender here. And so one man is looking to, get a big win, and one man is looking to continue his win streak. Who's going to win here is up to these two. Thunder still going on in the background, but that is not the main focus here. We're looking to see Jay Williams and Bennett Bracker put on a 5-star match here. We have a new referee here, and Jay runs in with a big boot, gets caught. Bennett taking the early lead here. Bennett, of course, having that size advantage. The slightly taller man, the slightly heavier man. Both men heavyweights. Bennett takes him down with a headlock and wrenching on that neck. Jay throws him away, but not quick to get up. It does catch a kick with a dragon screw, gets himself back on his feet, and instantly slides to the outside, looking for a weapon here. Takes out a sledgehammer and taunting a little bit. Bennett gonna talk him back on that taunt, throwing some strikes. And a big back heel kick. And now throwing those elbows. And another strikes. Taking that sledgehammer to the spine. Swinging it right at his hips. Now at the ankle. Jay has to roll away, but a flying knee strike from Bennett taking the control on this matchup. Bennett taking, still in the advantage here. Has his block up, but Jay just is out of it. Jay, big gourd buster GTS. Bennett looking for another weapon here. And picks up a sledgehammer of his own. Throws it on the ground though as Jay sprints in. Gets a good block up, but Jay gets a kick to the gut. But again, Bennett's just power has been able to be a big factor in this matchup. You know, I said last match that Jay Williams had here that, you know, he was facing another striker. And Jay just was the better striker in that matchup. But now he's facing someone who's more of a powerhouse, more of a, you know, heavy man who can throw him and toss him. And Bennett's surely showing that, you know, Jay, despite being so talented, does have weaknesses. But Jay is looking to get back in this matchup with a big pump kick. Jay though, tossing Bennett onto the ramp, runs over with a sledgehammer and hits him right in the gut, taunting his opponent, and once again swinging with it. And now onto the wrist, continuing his taunting, possibly looking to frustrate his opponent. Catches the punch from Bennett, now throwing a punch of his own, and sending Bennett into those steps. And a big back elbow to the ass. Steps over those steps, looking for that other sledgehammer pulled out by Bennett. And now dropping it onto the knuckles of Bennett. Bennett back to his feet, takes it away from him. And no, looked to be going for a strike to the gut. But Jay is able to catch him and throw him away. Picking up that sledgehammer once again, and right into the elbow and onto the wrist. These two have certainly been favoring sledgehammers. As a clothesline comes in, no, ducked by Jay Williams. And remember, this is our first blood match. This could be it. No. Knee strike to the face wasn't enough to cut open Jay Williams. Now some combos coming in. And a Northern Light suplex. These two are going to brawl until one man is cut open. Which could be now, and it is. Jay looks knocked out from that knee strike. Your winner here, Bennett Bracker, after that devastating knee strike. Knocking out his opponent using that big knee. Jay just wasn't prepared for someone that size and that much power. Possibly gonna have to run this match back later on, but we move on now to our third match. A very, very important match. It is, of course, a steel cage. We have Azrael versus Donna versus X Garcia, a debuting person here on the roster. The winner, of course, having a chance at the women's title, which will be crowned later tonight as Ariana versus Maria Marshall is in the co-main event. And now, onto our mid-card triple threat. Coming in first, making her way to the ring after, I believe, a pretty bad loss against Ariana.
The following is
sporting a bit of a different look here.
Cage match. Making her way to the ring from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the bombshell, Azrael Gomez.
Azrael sporting a bit of a different look here, a bit of a split-colored black and white attire. Of course, last time we saw her, she did lose to Ariana, but now she's looking to get another chance at that title. Of course, she does have two other opponents in this matchup, but Azrael has proven to be a pretty impressive opponent. You know, her very unique offense is hard to read, it's hard to counter. But now, again, that impressive athleticism by Azrael to do the splits on the ropes. Very talented woman, for sure, looking to get that #1 contender shot at the women's title. And the crowd is definitely hyped up to see her here. But now, coming in second is a woman who also lost to Ariana. Ariana has been on a bit of a, path of destruction here so far.
First, from Helsinki, Finland, Donna!
Donna had a pretty, bad loss against Ariana, to say the least, but we always try to give people a second chance here. We always try to give people a chance to prove themselves. And so this is Donna's chance to prove that, what happened was simply that Ariana's just a strong competitor. Walking down this ramp with a big, devastating appearance. Showing off those muscles with a very intimidating look. That Oni mask. That leather attire. Possibly going to play a factor. Maybe it's going to be it's going to be harder to hold on to her.
And from Mexico City, Mexico,
now, coming in last, X Garcia making her debut. The Tattoo Terminator, as she calls herself. It's been said that from heels to face, she's covered in tattoos. And you can see for yourself that is definitely true here. It would be a very, very good debut if she could win a #1 contender spot in her first night in BSW. And a beautiful split, rivaling the athleticism of Azriel. But can't just rely on beautiful tattoos. You gotta have some, power, some athleticism, some strength to get yourself a big win here. As the steel cage lowers, all three women look around, and Azriel is the first one to take the center of the ring. But a back body drop from X. Donna looking to get a quick escape here. X is gonna climb onto the side of this wall. Azriel has to play Guardian and stop these two from climbing up, but Donna has already reached the top of the cell. Donna could be out of this matchup. If Azriel does not get up there soon, this could be the quickest steel cage in history. X is, though, able to stop her, able to throw those punches and dragging her back down. That was almost a less than a minute. Could have been a very quick win by Donna. But now Azriel is looking to climb up as Donna and X throw each other into that cell. And X again is having to play Guardian, having to keep both these women off of the top here. Throwing those strikes at the thighs, pulling Azriel down now. And these women, since the start of the bell, have just been battling on the side of this cell. Now all three women back on the solid ground. X with a big hip toss into an elbow drop. Azriel with a knee strike though. And a spinning heel kick. No. Sorry, not a spinning heel kick. A spinning flat-footed kick. A big drop-down drop kick from Azriel. Now throwing some combos. There's kicks and bunches. And a big stack spinning heel kick with a shoulder tackle from Donna. X looking to get an impressive debut. Donna looking to give her some redemption. Azriel looking to prove she still has what it takes. Now setting up for suplex, it seems like. Wow. So, I was going to say some impressive strength, but X is able to slip out of it. Azriel goes for what looked to be possibly a head scissors onto Donna, but Donna still recovering from that chop block. Inadvertently dodges Azriel attack. Now getting sprinted in, and a running Dragon Rana from X, from Azriel. X now heading to the side of that wall. And now gets pushed into the cell wall, bumps off of it. And now with a big pop rocks from Azrael, but she's not paying attention with a big Uranagi from X. We have a 2. Remember, this is not elimination. Whoever wins here that's it. Of course, though, we do have an elimination match as the main event, as we have Austin Storm versus Anderson Klein versus Ray Dunleavy for the men's Undisputed champion. As a big backflip comes in, Pele kick backflip, springboard variation from Azrael. Very impressive offense as it lands beautifully onto X Garcia. An Irish whip off the ropes. As now, we've seen this before from Azrael, biting at the neck and slamming her head down. Donna hasn't had much going for her. She almost won the match just at the start of it, but besides that, she hasn't had the best matchups so far. X throwing some combos. But now Azrael taking control with some combos of her own with a big Meteora. And just calming herself. Again, very unique offense from all 3 women so far. Is now a big swing from Donna, but no, she gets caught into that sunset sarsaparilla. But X is right there. And I don't think she's just going to ignore that fall. Runs in with a double axe handle to break that pin up. But now punches her in the face, turns her around, but no, an elbow from the back from Azrael. Kicks Donna, 6X into the gut and throws her into that cell. Using a lot of power, but a low blow from Donna, dropping Azrael. Some dirty offense and a big elbow drop. Shakes the goddamn mat. Sounds like a goddamn earthquake just dropped onto these 3. And a drop kick from the back. And a splash. These 2 teaming up on Donna after that low blow and that like almost eruptious levels of an elbow drop. Azrael, though, throwing her opponent into that corner. Donna setting her opponent up. Got her into that gory submission, but X is able to break it up. X now setting her up for a fall-away slam. But a punch from setting up for that sunset sarsaparilla. Looking for a cover here. No, decides against it. Possibly realizing that Donna was not on her back or her stomach. Now setting up for that fairy tale ending, and she gets it. But now X is on her feet. But a big brass knuckles punch from X Garcia. I didn't quite realize what it was, but now I do. And that was almost enough to put Donna away. But now Azrael getting stalked by X, and another Uranagi going for the cover, but broken up by Donna, now recovering from that brass knuckles to the jaw. But a twisting power slam nearly dropped her onto her skull. A very dangerous move to do on someone so short. But a club to the back. Drops X to a knee. And a forearm to the face. But now a drop kick from Azrael. Azrael sending her opponent into the corner. Not quick to, run directly at her, though. Setting her up for something bad, though. It gets dropped onto the face. Donna kicks X in her face. And now once again setting up for this very, very dangerous power slam. And Azrael possibly looking for that big punch that follows up the sunset sarsaparilla, but a fairy tale ending comes in from Donna. But again, X is back up on her feet. A 2 count, but just not enough. Donna's going to have to put both women down if she's going to want a chance of winning this. But now a pump handle suplex from X Garcia. Lays out Donna. This could be the opportunity for one of these women, either Azrael or X, to get a big win here. But no, both these women failing at getting any significant damage done as a big ripcord knee strike comes through. Spinning back heel kick. Kick to the gut and a back jumping heel kick. That could be it. We have a 1, a 2, and a 3. Azrael Gomez stealing that after a deadly jumping heel kick.
Here is your winner, the Bombshell.
The new #1 contender for that women's championship. After tonight, we could be seeing a very, very interesting sight, as if Ariana wins here, we could see a big rematch. But we now are going to move on to our next match, where we see another first blood between a debuting Brandon Cuevas and Thomas Insano. And now, on to our fourth match here. Making his way to the ring after a devastating loss to Lance Sutton. It was a very hard-fought battle. Both of these men, I'm surprised Thomas is even walking right now. After being tossed, we did the math, and he was tossed 100+ feet off of the cell in total. Just to give you a breakdown of the math, 60 feet in total from being powerbombed off the cell from Lance, and then another 15 feet from battling on the side of the cell, and then 25 feet from being sent through the cell. That's of course not including the powerbomb height that Lance was throwing him off of, and the other damage that he might have taken. Thomas, it proved to everyone that he belongs here. Going through absolute hell in that matchup and just barely not getting the win.
And his opponent,
but coming in second here,
New Jersey,
making his debut
at 275 pounds, the Rebel, Brandon Curtis.
Brandon Cuevas making a very, very interesting debut. Those eyes glowing red. I don't know much about this man, but what I do know is that he is definitely someone you are going to want to watch out for. He stands at 6'9", 275 pounds. He is a pretty lean man for his height, but is not going to be a light step for Thomas, as this is a 24-year-old, practically a giant, the new tallest man on the roster here, at 6'9", against our shortest man on the roster, Thomas Insano. Mr. Shadow makes interesting booking choices, and we will definitely have to see how that plays a factor. And you don't really get to fully see how tall he is until he steps into that ring. You can see he towers over those top ropes, easily at elbow level with the top rope. This is going to be a hard fight for Thomas Insano, but we've seen him fight the hard fight before. We've seen him fight the bigger man before. Both of these men looking for a big win here. Both men sprinting at a springboard cutter from Brandon. I'm surprised by how the size and the speed. But Thomas, though, quickly taking control here. Sends him to the outside, but a kick to the gut from Brandon. Brandon now sending his opponent, throwing him back first into those steel barricade and immediately ripping apart the steps. And a big powerbomb variation from Brandon, now throwing some combos and ripping at the eyes. I'm surprised someone with such a big, size and such big power is resorting to such dirty tactics. But now a big boot from Thomas takes out the big man, dropping him on his back. Now being sent back in the ring here. This is also a first blood match, which I don't quite know who that favors, but we will quickly find out as a disaster kick from Brandon. That could have been it. That could have cut him open. This could also cut him open. Every single time that these two are thrown at that floor, that could have been it either. Every single wrong move here, every single move could have been the last. Thomas taking control of that wrist, but a kick to the gut from Brandon breaks out of it. Now sending his opponent back in the ring here and picking up those steel steps once again. Giving time for Thomas to recover. Thomas takes control of the ring and a baseball slide drop kick Brandon recovering on that steel barricade. Now sliding back into the ring. But Thomas takes control of the situation, and a pop-up European uppercut. Thomas again has shown impressive strength all throughout his entire matches here in BSW. You know, to be able to throw someone so high up into the air despite their size is always going to be impressive, and it's even more impressive when you think about the fact that, you know, he has gone through hell in his last week. He went through an absolute devastating matchup, and yet he's still able to break out of submissions like that, where he was in a really bad spot there with that submission hold. And now a German suplex picks him around with a clothesline, folds him inwards. Thomas now looking to take control using that weapon. Stalking his opponent as Brandon stumbles to his feet and clubs him down as he's on one knee. And once again, no. Kick to the gut by Brandon with a big clothesline, picking up those steps. But a kick to the gut. We've seen this before. That pile driver. But again, the only way you can win in this matchup is by cutting your opponent's face open. And a face plant from Thomas. And a club to the face. And now throwing those strikes. This could be it. And it is! Dropping him head first after that acid reflex pile driver. Getting a big win here against the debuting. It so far hasn't been a good showing for the debuting competitors here. But now we're going to move on to our 5th match here. This is a pretty important match. We have Jay Phoenix versus a debuting competitor that we will be keeping a mystery. And the winner of this matchup will be getting a chance to face one of the losers of the main event to get himself a chance at the #1 contendership of the Men's Undisputed Championship for the next pay-per-view. And now on to our, I believe, our second to our third last match here. Yes, it is. Right before our co-main event. Coming in first is our current Grand Prix briefcase holder. Of course, going to come out with it. Of course, he gained that in a match against Johnny Raven.
The following contest is an Extreme Rules match. Making his way to the ring from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 224 pounds, the King, Jay Flynn X.
Jay Phoenix. You know, that briefcase holds heavy implications. It could mean that at any time he chooses, with one simple message, he can attack Lance Sutton at any time to possibly become the new Grand Prix champion. Of course, originally that title, that briefcase was against Johnny, but with your new champion, Lance Sutton here, he has a new opponent, he has a new threat. But he should focus in on his match here as a debuting man coming in now, making his way to the ring, building up the hype, the animosity of the crowd.
And his opponent from Jersey City, New Jersey, weighing in at 230 pounds, Jose Bravo.
Jose with a very interesting look here, making his debut. He's got that dyed hair, that dyed beard, with a bit of a red and black color theme here. A very interesting look, to be sure, but you know, I can judge all I want, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. If he gets a win, he gets a win. and he could be looking at a possible contention for an upcoming title match. As of now, I have no information on this man, but by the end of tonight, we will have enough information to decide whether or not he is going to be a big player here in BSW. So far, he definitely got a unique look, and you know, it could carry him in this division. Of course, we don't quite know what title he's going for if he loses, but if he wins, he will be heading towards that men's Undisputed Championship. But he does have a big competitor here in Jay Phoenix. Jay Phoenix had a war, an absolute combat, you know, beautiful match against Ray Dunleavy, and then won against the previous Grand Prix champion. But a big flying headbutt from Jose goes for the cover, but only a 1 count. Jay is an impressive competitor, having some very hard-fought matches so far. Now he's looking to get his third win here. Sorry, his second win, his third match. With a big backflip as Jose goes for a back suplex. Jay does have the height advantage and possibly a weight advantage as he pulls out a ladder from underneath the ring. This is an Extreme Rules match. There are no rules, but a swinging, looked to be going for a clothesline, but caught by Phoenix. Phoenix now being sent into the ropes. Gets caught with a European uppercut. And now a back knee drop. Goes for the cover. We have a 2, and that's all he's going to get, though. Jay staying in this matchup. But Jose is going to take advantage, take control of that arm, and head to the top rope now. There is no stipulation to this matchup. There is no submission. There's no 2 out of 3 falls. There is no Iron Man. This is just the first man to put the other man down is your winner here. And a package pile driver coming in from Jay Phoenix. Goes for a senton, but gets caught by the knees. Jose back to his feet with a kitchen sink. Phoenix, though, smart to roll to the outside. Jose heads to the outside to follow through, but gets caught with what looks to be another pile driver to the outside this time. And now sending his opponent into that apron. Gets caught with a back elbow, though. And now Jose throwing his opponent into that announcer's table. Of course, we have our other announcers sitting there for a standby in case I have to go. But now just throwing him into that with a stomp to the ankle. Jose using the environment to his advantage. Wrenching on that ankle now. Possibly a target in the near future. Now sends his opponent into the steel steps. But now Phoenix, though, trying to fight back, but a code breaker from Jose keeps himself in the advantage position. And now he's looking for a weapon and picks out a kendo stick. Jay, though, able to roll out of the way. And the crowd's chanting they want tables. I don't know if they'll get it, though, with a Blue Thunder bomb from Phoenix. Getting himself back in control here after a pretty bad start so far. Now got that leg trap knee drop onto this, on his head. Phoenix sending his opponent into the north side of the arena as he looks for a weapon underneath the ring. And now he's going to listen to the fans, and he's going to pull out a table. But isn't going to set it up in any position. Just going to swing it at his head and then drop it with a big overhead suplex. And now he's tearing apart that table. We just put that apart, I believe, 2 matches ago. But Jay doesn't care. He's going to tear that thing apart. But possibly not the smartest move, as it gave Jose the advantage. As when you turn your back, you always put yourself in a bad spot. Jose took advantage of that. But Phoenix is going to look to battle himself back into a control with a super kick to the nose. Jose is going to use the ropes to climb himself up and plant himself into that corner. And now, no, looked to be going for some move with Phoenix, but gets caught with a back elbow. But now a reverse DDT as Jose floats over Phoenix. Jose looked to be going for something, but gets caught with a back elbow of his own now. And once again, another package pile driver from Jay Phoenix. Phoenix now stalking his opponent. Kick to the gut. Setting him up. And that twisting cutter, neck breaker. Gets a cover. No, only a 2 count. I believe Phoenix calls that the fallen Phoenix. Hits a rolling elbow. Calls that the Phoenix wing. And now kicking him in the face. Jose chooses to retreat. Heads back in the ring though. Not wanting to let Phoenix rest, but possibly not the best move. But no, a reverse DDT onto the corner of that steel ladder. But once again, Blanco going to retreat to the outside, picking up a sledgehammer from the outside. Not a smart move though, as now some chops and slaps come in from Phoenix. Phoenix picking him up, but dropping him onto the knee once again. Phoenix looks exhausted though. Picking up that sledgehammer and dropping it, no. Blanco rolls out of the way and a clothesline sends him over the top rope. Blanco takes the control of the ring, takes the center. But now these two are alternating position with a bat now coming into play here. Jay smacks it out of his hand now. Picks him up. And a snake eyes onto the rope. Phoenix heading to the high rent district. And a big double foot stomp. That could be it. But he doesn't go for a cover. Possibly a bad mistake as an up kick from Blanco with a flatliner. Picks up that bat again. Swinging it at the shoulder. Once again. A third time, this time to the face. Lays out Phoenix. Phoenix though, gets back to his feet. Smacks it out of his hand. Throws him into that corner. Setting him up for something, no. A forearm to the face. And now that big flatliner. Goes for the cover. That could be it. We have a 1, a 2, and a 3. Getting the first debut win here of the night is Jose Blanco.
Here is your winner.
I don't know whether or not it was because Phoenix didn't have a chance to prepare for this type of opponent, or maybe he just didn't see the point in winning. Of course, he does still have that contract for at any time he could challenge the champion, the Grand Prix champion, for that title. But now we are going to move on to our co-main event as we crown our first women's undisputed champion, Ariana versus Maria Marshall. Finally, we make our way to the co-main event of the evening. And coming in first, winning this opportunity 2 weeks ago,
is a 2 out of 3 falls match, and is for the Women's Undisputed Championship. Making her way to the ring from Long Beach, California, Maria Marshall.
Maria Marshall, another heavily tattooed woman here in BSW, with a very unique look. Those pigtails, you know, sort of become a signature look of her. As you know, she had a very good showing in her match, where I believe she put down Azrael Gomez for that chance at that title. And now Azrael Gomez has a chance at the title once again. Possibly we could see a rematch between those two. But now, coming in second, having a dominant streak so far in BSW, coming in with a bit of a different look here. I don't know whether it is just a new look where she's taunting her opponent, but she does also have those pigtails on full display. Bit of a black attire this time. Beautiful attire by Ariana. Bit of an interesting look leading into this match. This is a 2 out of 3 falls match. But let's get into the details here. Ariana is on a 3-win streak as she heads closer towards this title, and she could be the first woman to be crowned as the BSW Women's Champion. Maria, though, is looking to stop her in her tracks and cut that win streak short. Will it be enough to put away such a dominant woman so far? Ariana has the height and weight advantage. 5'4" versus, I believe, 5'9". The size difference is not so large, but the skill level could be a factor. Oh, let's get this match underway. Ariana immediately sprinting in with a single leg drop kick. Picks her opponent up, bringing that 100 miles a minute attitude as always. That's how she has been so dominant so far in her matches. Now a tilt-a-whirl head scissor takedown from Ariana. Excellent show of athleticism. She now back-breaking her opponent and bending her over her knee, stretching her back and her lower spine out. Now heading off the ropes, sprinting in, drop to the knee, no. Rolls out of the way is Maria with a sliding clothesline to take her opponent down. But Ariana not quick to give up. Jawbreaker to get herself back on her feet. Picks her opponent up on the shoulders. Heading into the corner with a snake eyes right to the face. This is a 2 out of 3 falls match. Both women are going to have multiple chances to win here. Maria now taking control with a shoulder break. Now dragging her opponent onto the floor and just manipulating that wrist and dropping that knee onto that bicep. Slowing down the excellent and fast-paced offense of Ariana. But Maria just can't seem to take control for long. Gets a few pot shots in, but Ariana so far has been in the firm control of this matchup with a Northern Lights suplex. Ariana now stalking her opponent, looking for something. Springboard, base plant, goes for the cover here. We have a 1, a 2, only a 2 count. Maria just sort of just out of her element so far. Getting picked up by the pigtails. Now being twisted around into that driving right onto the neck. Got Maria locked up here, but just barely kicks out. Ariana, though, not going to let her opponent rest. Gets kicked in the gut, though, for her troubles. But responds with some kicks to the back of the thigh of her own. Throwing that forearm. And now a leg drop onto the chest. Maria's in a really bad spot here. Ariana taunting herself, giving a view for the crowd, shaking her hips. Enjoying herself out there. Possibly also just an insult to her opponent. Maria, though, responds with a punch to the gut. And a kick to the gut. And now, Irish Whip sends her opponent to the outside and quick to follow. Maria, though, Imanari roll, catches the ankle, and now twisting onto that shin, bending it in a bad way. Now, taking control of that wrist, slamming her arm down, and we've seen this before, that arm manipulation. Maria likes to target those limbs, likes to target the arms and legs, and she's certainly been doing so. But again, Ariana, being the firm controller of this matchup, Maria is just now getting in some consistent offense. But a kick to the gut once again. Maria able to respond with some kicks. But will it be enough to get herself a win here? I do not know. Now lifting her opponent up by the shoulder. Again, one wrong lift and it could pop the shoulder blade out. We've seen it happen before to many wrestlers. And Maria is now, you know, taking control on the outside here. Ariana, though, sending her opponent into the steel barricade. And a face buster, stomping on the face. But an ankle pick dragon screw from Maria to get herself back on her feet and get Ariana back on her back. And once again targeting that arm. Ariana needs to get back in that ring. It seems like she's having much better offense when she is in the comfort of that ring. Since heading to the outside, Maria has been all in control here and has been just damaging that left arm of her. Of course, this is her strategy towards, you know, locking in that submission hold, and now slamming her onto the mat and stomping onto that bicep. Maria is looking to target that left arm heavily, and it is going to play a factor here if Maria can lock in that submission. We now get our first weapon of the night with a kendo stick. Sorry, not a kendo stick, a hockey stick. Excuse my wording. Maria looks exhausted though. All that offense seems to have gassed her out here. And now she's just taking a breather on the outside. Ariana though demanding that she comes back in this ring. And she does, not the one to be a coward. But now looks to be locking in that arm. This could be it. This could be our new women's champion. Twisting on that wrist, but no. Ariana very quick to break out, but her arm, you know, she's showing the damage of that arm. That could have been the first fall out of 2. Ariana though gets caught with a forearm to the face. And now she's getting caught in a web here. Her arms are completely tied up as Maria playing with her opponent. And now a boot to the face. Ariana hasn't had some good offense since she's headed to the outside. Maria has definitely taken the advantage of this matchup as she's now heading to the top rope here. And she wants her opponent to get up on her feet. I don't quite know what she's looking for. A big senton, flipping senton from Maria, but Ariana rolls out of the way. Again, gets caught. And now she's stealing her opponent's move, dropping her neck first onto that hockey stick, and now picking it up. This has been a hard-fought match between these two ladies. But Maria she's gassed out, but she's still going. Excellent show of stamina by her, who, despite her stamina issues, still standing and still being on the aggressive side. And again, we just put that table back together, and once again, she's tearing it apart. And now another hockey stick. Crowd saying they want tables, but I think Ariana's content with swinging that hockey stick for the fences. Ariana sends her opponent back into the ring, picks that hockey stick back up, threatening her opponent before heading back into the ring. Taunting her once again and swinging more. But now, once again, this arm trapping her badly. This could be it. This could be the first fall of the night. But again, Ariana able to slip out of it. Maria not locking it in tight enough and now being pushed away by Ariana. Ariana heading off the ropes with a clothesline, punches her right in the face. Now she's looking to stalk her opponent here. Setting her up for that driver. No, going for the glamour DV. And she gets it. Flush, you know, connection. Gets a cover. We have a 2 count. And that's a 3 count. We have our first fall. One more fall from Ariana, and she is our new Undisputed Women's Champion. Runs into the clothesline. Gets another one. And now catches the leg and trips her opponent, hyping herself up for the crowd. Now she heads to the ropes. We saw this near the start of the match. She's looking for that rolling face buster, but no, caught into a spine buster by Maria. Unorthodox offense, but it gets the job done, but it's not enough to get her a fall. Get her a point here. Just a 2 count as Ariana still is up by 1 point. This could be a point though, as she's wrenching on that arm. Ariana's panicking. It's got that locked in tight. Maria wrenching on that elbow, popping it backwards. If this happens much longer, her elbow could pop inverted. But no, she's able to fight out. Jesus, a big shotgun drop kick. Folds Maria in half as she runs in and gets clocked with that hockey stick, cracking it over her skull. And Maria's going to crawl to the corner to try and recover. Ariana, though, going to stomp her down. And now a big European uppercut. Heading to those apron. Looking for that roll through face buster. Roll through and she connects. She's got it. This could be it. We could be crowning our first women's undisputed champion. And no, I don't know how she's able to kick out. And I don't think Ariana's understands either. Just a 2 count, but a boo on me from the middle rope. Beautifully executed by Ariana, and a kick to the spine. Now heading off the ropes, sprinting in with maximum efficiency with that knee drop. Now picking her opponent up, but no. Punched it with a forearm from Maria. Lifting her up into an armbar. A suplex into an armbar. But no, Ariana looks to be twisting out of it. No, actually, Maria transitioning into a wrist lock, snapping on the fingers, and now wrenching that back elbow backwards. And now again, continuing to target that arm. After this match, we may have to check in with the medical team on Ariana's arms. You know, she may be the champion, but if she can't even lift the belt, then it's not a good sign for her. Maria taking some momentum, gets sent into the ropes, but gets a big head kick. And now springboard, senton, well executed, goes for the cover. We have a 1, a 2, and a 3. These women are now tied up. This is now a sudden death. The first woman to get a fall here is your new undisputed women's champion. Ariana being sent onto the apron. And now a combo from Maria trips her opponent. Maria now lifting her opponent up. Punches in the face. No, caught by Ariana. Ariana now responding with some combos of her own with a big enziguri. Goes for the cover. We have a 1, a 2, and we have a 3. We have a new undisputed women's champion in Ariana Onyx after a very hard-fought battle.
And new women's undisputed champion, Ariana.
Our first ever undisputed women's champion, Ariana Onyx, proving why she's such a dominant person, and she is our first champion. Excellent showing by both of these women. But now she's going to have to keep her back out and watch behind her at every moment as Azriel Gomez looks to challenge for that title. But now we will be moving on to our main event of the evening, a triple threat elimination match between Ray Dunleavy, Anderson Klein, and Austin Storm. All 3 men looking to claim themselves as the first undisputed men's champion. And this has been a hell of a show here. We are finally onto our main event of the evening. And coming in first after a very, very up and down history so far in this company, making his way to the ring.
Is a triple threat Extreme Rules match, and is for the Men's Undisputed Championship. Making his way to the ring from Hartford, Connecticut, weighing in at 243 pounds, Austin Storm.
Austin, of course, lost both of his first matches here in BSW, but then got a big win against Thomas and Lance Sutton to get this chance at this title. And, you know, this is going to be a big moment for him if he can go from losing back-to-back to winning the Undisputed Championship and becoming the first men to be the Undisputed Champion. The thunder roaring in the background as he screams into this crowd. A beautiful sight to be sure, and it could be the last sight we see at the end of the night as we are looking to crown our first ever champion. But now, coming in second, after a loss to...
And his opponents, first from New Jersey, weighing in at 230 pounds, Ray Dunleavy.
Ray Dunleavy, of course, last week looked to be getting some more momentum heading into this pay-per-view match, but lost to Jay Williams after trying to do a striking exchange with the more veteran striker. Ray, though, heading down to the ring with a bit of a different look here, sporting a more of a black attire as opposed to his blue and whites. He has his face covered. I don't know whether that's because of his match with Jay Williams or just a different look he's sporting. But either way, he's definitely got a very interesting appearance coming in so far. That yellow haze coming through the back of his clothing. And this could be our new men's Undisputed Champion. Ray, of course, had a hard-fought battle with Jay Phoenix, where they went on for over 20 minutes before he finally locked in that submission hold to get himself the victory. And I think that was a definite proving point for a lot of people about the danger that Ray Dunleavy presents. Despite his size, despite his attitude, despite his weird looks, he is a definite threat in this industry. And he is going to prove it here tonight, hopefully, in this elimination triple threat match. But now let's get our last opponent out here tonight. Anderson Klein. Again, he was on the winning side of that trio of matches.
From New York, weighing in at 219 pounds, Anderson Klein.
Anderson hyping himself up as he heads into this ring, sporting a bit of a different look, you know, sort of taking that spiky hair to the side and wearing that golden shining robe, switching out the black and gold for a white and gold sort of look. And honestly, I gotta say, I like the new look. Definitely seems just as energetic though. But does this new look mean anything, or is it just possibly a sign that he cared more about his appearance than his training as he led up to this match? Of course, he did have a big win over Bennett Bracker in a 2 out of 3 falls match, but will that be enough to prove to everyone and to prove to himself that he belongs here and he belongs to be the BSW Undisputed Men's Champion? And here's our first look at it in live action. Our ref being handed the title and showing it to everyone. Such a beautiful title. Definitely a prize to be sure, and anyone in this ring would be happy to hold such a big and beautiful title. And as this bell rings, Anderson taking the backseat approach with a chop block to the knee. Ray, though, throwing some punches from the apron after being sent over. And these three men, remember, this is elimination, so none of these men have a particular reason to help the other or to break up any falls. But Anderson with a big roundhouse kick to Austin, and now setting Ray Dunleavy into that tree of woe position. He gets caught with a clothesline to the back from Austin. Ray Dunleavy able to slip out of it as some big strikes come in from Austin. Ray now taking control with a hammerlock DDT. Plants him right on the top of his head is Austin. And now that ripcord lariat goes for the first cover of this match. We have a 1, a 2, no, just a 2 count. I would have been shocked if so early on Austin is eliminated. Being sent into those ropes. Lou Thesz press from Austin right to the face of Anderson, and Anderson's going to roll to the outside. Austin picks his opponent up though and drops some face breaks into that top turnbuckle. Anderson taunting on the outside and looked to be going for a cutter is Austin, but gets caught with a power slam. Now Ray Dunleavy gets that knee strike, but no, a hip toss from Austin powers out of it. Now taking control with that hockey stick after Anderson pulled it out from underneath the ropes. And now Anderson gets his opponent into the corner. But now a big arm trap suplex bridging, but only a 2 count. And I didn't talk much about it, but look at this attire from Ray Dunleavy, this black war paint that he's sporting. It's a very interesting look. Again, 2 out of 3 of these men are sporting a very different attire here. And again, I don't know if it's going to be an advantage or a disadvantage here, whether it shows confidence or possibly a disillusion of what they should be focusing on. But Austin gets caught with a knee strike after laying out Anderson with those hockey stick. We've seen a really heavy focus on those hockey sticks. We've seen them constantly used in this all of tonight. I don't know if, maybe they were stacked under the ring thinking we were going to Canada, but we are in Los Angeles, California. Some big strikes come in from Ray Dunleavy. Ray, with the eyes in the back of his head, catches Austin and a knee strike to both of these men, laying both out. But now being pushed off by Anderson. And now a code breaker. Ray Dunleavy stunned on the outside, but again, he has no reason to break this up. That's the first man eliminated here. That code breaker cut open the face of Austin Storm. And honestly, it was a pretty bad showing for Austin. He had such good showing in that match that he won to get into here. But I think Anderson and Ray are just shown to be on a different level so far. Now place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Anderson or Ray Dunleavy to be the first PSW Undisputed Champion. And a kendo stick, the hockey stick coming into play once again. Ray Dunleavy sends his opponent off the ropes, pops him up. Now flapjack. He saw something similar of Lance Sutton. But no. Now being caught with that suplex cutter, goes for the cover. We could see our new champion here. 1, a 2. No, just a 2 count as Ray Dunleavy stays in this matchup. Barely staying in though. Stumbling back to his feet as Anderson heads to the top rope as I drops him with that leg drop. Catches him badly, but he still catches him nonetheless. Goes for the cover here. This could be it. A 1, a 2. No, just barely a 2 count. I was on the edge of my seat there, ladies and gentlemen. Possibly looking at our first ever men's Undisputed Champion. Those clubbing strikes coming in from Anderson though. And once again, no. Reversed by Ray Dunleavy, throwing some forearms. Now kicking him at the back of that knee. Looking to get back in control here. Targeting that leg. Now lifting Anderson up. Both these men, very similar height, very similar reach, very similar weight. Put a big chicken wing gut buster. Variation suplex. But now, Jesus, some rapid gut punches. Right to the stomach, collapsing is Anderson Klein, rolling to the outside. Ray Dunleavy, though, gonna follow him out. And gonna slam a knee first. And an enziguri from Anderson Klein gets himself out of danger. He's now throwing those strikes to the face of Ray Dunleavy. And Anderson, though, is gonna create some distance. And again, I think, I don't even know when it happens, but someone tore apart the announcement table again. You know, really making it annoying for our cleanup crew every single match so far. But right now, German suplex holds on though. Not done yet with a lariat. Flipping Anderson inside out. Ray Dunleavy sending his opponent back into the ring here. Looking under the apron for something big. Takes out a stop sign. We haven't seen that tonight. Swings it at his head. No. Anderson smacks it out of his hands. Gets caught with a kick to the gut though, and now more rapid punches to the gut. And Anderson once again collapsing from the punches. But turns the attention, turns the attacking. And also, I just noticed Ray Dunleavy isn't wearing shoes. I don't know what that's about, but definitely not a good thing as he gets trapped into the corner. Very nasty. Now gets thrown. No. Gets caught though. Suplex. Caught her onto that steel sign. We have a 1, a 2, and a 3. We have our new men's undisputed champion after a hard-fought matches day in and day out.
Here is your winner.
He is our first inaugural men's undisputed champion here at BSW.
Champion Anderson Klein.
A very heartfelt victory for Anderson Klein, finally, you know, gaining a title, holding the main title here in BSW. But he's definitely got a target on his back here. Jose Blanco is going to be his next challenger. And we saw Jose Blanco had a very interesting offense. But tonight's the night to celebrate. We thank you all for watching. And we hope to see you next week as we move to our weekly show. We thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.